Hello, hello. Looking to see who's joining me today for day 2. This is my commitment to go live for 30 days here in LinkedIn, something totally out of my comfort zone. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun if yesterday was any indication. So let's see who joins today. And I'm going to check, just like I did yesterday, I'm going to check just to make sure I'm going live again. I've been a guest with StreamYard, but this is the first time I'm actually using StreamYard for something myself as like the host. So I'm going to double check before we get going too far. Yay, Karen, you can see me. Thanks for joining again. Karen was here yesterday, and so I appreciate you joining again today. And we're going to give it just a few minutes. So Karen, what was your biggest takeaway from yesterday? Anything that stood out? Hey, Beverly. All right. Another person joining again from yesterday. That's such a good sign. Beverly, I just asked Karen if she wanted to share in the comments a takeaway, something that just kind of struck you or something that made you think a little bit differently. I would love for you to put that in the comments. Hi, somebody joined. It just says LinkedIn user. I see a hi, Jen. Who are you and where are you joining from, LinkedIn user? Karen and Beverly, any takeaways? Come on, don't be shy. I'm really doing this so that we can have some good dialogue here. No pressure, right? So I know my friend Catherine's going to be joining. There she is. She's just running behind, stuck in another meeting. No worries. Kathleen, we've got Karen and Beverly who were on yesterday, which is terrific. Lissa, hey, girl. Oh, so glad to have Melissa Sweet. It's fantastic to see you here. This is Kaiser Faroud, Dave. Hi, Dave. Thanks for joining. I hope you guys take some great stuff away from this, either for the women in your life. And actually, I am going to touch upon men's hormones a little bit here as well. That was a request from my friend. I think it was Jeff yesterday who joined. He asked me if I'd talk about men's hormones. So today is really focused on women, but I am going to touch upon this. So just a little bit. And I'm actually going to try today to do this. This will be kind of like a little mini masterclass. I don't know. Can everybody see this like little slide here? Can somebody let me know? You see the picture with me in the yoga hands here, hormone balancing hack? Please confirm, because if not, I need to know that. Let's see. Karen, be my test person. Can you see this slide? Anyone? Good topic, dear. Please continue. Yes, Beverly, thank you. Appreciate that so much. Kathleen, yes. Excellent. Okay, so before we get started today, I just want to recap a little bit. So the reason that I am doing this is because I wanted to break out of my comfort zone. I wanted to get to know some more people and let people get to know me a little bit better. I am a certified integrative health practitioner. And so what that means is, and you can go to my LinkedIn profile, you can click in, you can see I'm part of one of the largest virtual integrative health practitioner organizations like a holistic health in the country, which is so exciting. And it's important for you to know, again, though, I am not a medical doctor. This is the disclaimer part. If I'm going to talk about hormones today, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. If you want medical advice, you have to go see your doctor. Them's the rules, right? But what we know is that holistic health, natural health, functional medicine play a huge role, right? When we talk about Ayurvedic medicine, we're talking about going back 6,000 years, Eastern medicine, 6,000 years. People were talking about things very, very differently, right? This whole food as medicine approach, which I'm going to dig into today, which is so exciting, is the fact that, look, if we are treating our bodies right, our bodies are a miracle, right? There's a lot that we can do to heal ourselves, right? And the conventional medicine approach, look, I am not anti-conventional medicine. I get hit by a bus, I broke my arm, you best be taking me to the emergency room, right? So I just want to make that super, super clear. Also, as a kind of a functional practitioner, my job is to help uncover root cause imbalances in the body and try and help you heal by restoring deficiencies, whether it's nutritional deficiencies in the body, reducing toxicities, inflammation, heavy metals, and things, so that you can really find balance, right? A lot of symptoms that we have, they're all because our body is trying to tell us something, right? We are out of balance for some reason. So when you can identify those symptoms, or you work with a coach or a practitioner who can help you identify those symptoms and put together some protocols for you to follow, then you can get better. You can feel better. The answer isn't always in the prescription pad, okay? So just want to make that clear today. Everybody good? Everybody down with that? If you are down with that, drop some fire signs in the chat for me. Let's have some fun. I want to make sure you're there as I get going on today's topic. So any fire signs in the chat? Come on, let me see them. Let me see them. Do it, do it, do it. I want at least one fire sign. Oh, if you're on your computer, you might not know how to do it. So for me, you have to press the little, the Windows icon and the period, and your emojis come up. That's something that I learned only like a year ago. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started with today. So why are we talking about this hormone balancing activity, which can fundamentally change, improve, better your hormones, especially now I am talking specifically about women here. Okay. So what are we talking about? We're talking about balancing our menstrual cycle. And for me, I'm going to go just a little bit bigger slide view here so that you can see the slides. Can you guys see this? How cool is this? I am digging StreamYard. So for me, when I first became aware of this, it was because I decided that I wanted to come off hormonal birth control. Hormonal birth control was something that I had been on for about 20 years. I was first put on it because I had really bad issues with my period. Thanks, Karen. I see those fire signs now. I love it. So I had really bad issues with my period. PMS would hit me like just a bullet train. My mom would have to take me out of school. I had very heavy periods. I had very bad backaches. I had massive headaches. I was just down for the count, give me 2, pain relievers and put me to bed for the day. That was it. So also I had some acne, right? Teenage acne. So what's the doctor do? Well, let's put you on birth control, right? So as like a 15-year-old girl, I went on birth control to help regulate that PMS, and it did help. Here's the issue. I stayed on it for like 20 years, right? Because really the only answer that most conventional doctors have for us when we have any sort of symptom hormone related, oh, let's just put you on birth control. We're going to give you all that synthetic estrogen or progesterone, and that's going to balance out your hormones, right? Well, not so much. Okay. It's not the same thing. Just telling you right now, what is in those little pill packs is not the big thing. And not the real thing. Sorry, I'm looking at Beverly's comment here. Beverly, thank you. My biggest takeaway from yesterday is the thought that I don't put time into doing self-care and planning for the things I want to do, like travel. Beverly, that is an amazing takeaway. Yes, that's the type of thinking I want to encourage through this series. You can't just always be thinking about work, folks. You've got to be thinking about yourself in a holistic way. What are you here for? We're all a miracle. We're all here to accomplish something. We all have tremendous value to give. Okay. So back to the story here. So I went on birth control. I was on it for like 20 years. When I decided to come off it, I didn't realize that there was a way that I could come off birth control so that I could handle it. Right. So I could handle it. So what I did is kind of came off cold turkey immediately. It was like within, 3 or 4 days, hot flashes, night sweats, like the worst night sweats. Guys, I'm sorry. If you just don't know, right? You wake up in the middle of the night and you're soaked in sweat and you're laying there and you're like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Right. And the brain fog and the mental crazies, literally, I thought I was going insane. I could not remember anything. I couldn't find anything. Where's my coffee? Where's my coffee? Here's my coffee. I mean, it was terrible. These are some of the things that we struggle with when our estrogen gets out of balance. Okay. That's what we're really going to be talking about a lot today. So one of the symptoms that was part of this post-birth control symptom is really talking about estrogen dominance. So what are, again, some of the symptoms? They can also be, besides brain fog, it can be just standing in the kitchen and start to sweat. Sure. Or for me, you know what, Kathleen, a trigger is anytime something like hits me and it might cause like a little bit of stress, I could immediately just start hot flashing. Boom. And I just start feeling it coming on. So all of these things, though, are symptoms of an underlying imbalance when we're talking about, for example, estrogen dominance. PCOS is another type of hormone imbalance, right? Too much testosterone. Today, though, for the seed cycling, which could help PCOS, though, don't get me wrong, we're going to focus on estrogen. But here's the thing. We all have hormones, right? We have all kinds of hormones. We have the hormone ghrelin. Ghrelin, what's that mean? Ghrelin tells us we're hungry, right? Leptin tells us we're full. Progesterone, DHEA, testosterone, pregnenolone, the mother of all hormones, if you were on my masterclass last month. So whenever one of these is out of whack, everything is going to be affected. So that's why it's so important that we think about this is we are a whole system. Our hormones are a whole system, okay? So let's just baseline ourselves here. And let's talk about our menstrual cycle to make sure that we're all on the same page, right? This could be new information for some people. I know that I didn't get a lot of good information when I was growing up. I just didn't know. Okay, so what is the first day of our cycle, ladies? Anyone know? You want to put it in the comments? The first day of our cycle is the first day that we start to bleed and have our period. Simple, right? An average cycle should be 28 days. Some are a little bit shorter, some are a little bit longer, right? So we have our whole cycle of menstruation, and the whole point of that is to what? Release an egg so that we can get pregnant. So during the whole beginning phase, the first 14 days, that's the follicular phase. This is when we have estrogen is really starting to rise, and it rises until we get to that point where there's ovulation, right? An egg is released. And there's really about only a 24-hour period where you can get pregnant once a month, which is really amazing when you think about it. So once that egg is released, we go into that second phase of our cycle. We're talking about the luteal phase, right? And the luteal phase, we've got estrogen follows a curve, and estrogen should be coming down and our progesterone should be rising. What's progesterone for? Progesterone is to make sure that we have a really nice, soft, cushy lining for that egg. So if it does get fertilized and embedded, that it has a very soft, safe, wonderful place to grow and develop a little human being, right? That's what it's for. So we've got this cycle, right? We've got estrogen goes up and then down. We've got progesterone that kind of goes down and then goes up, yin yang. Everything in our body is yin yang. That's what you want to think about. So what happens when we start to feel symptoms like PMS, like what I was feeling before, that is the last 4 to 5 days of our luteal phase. Why? PMS, right? Premenstrual syndrome. This is before our new cycle starts. And again, the backaches, the headaches, the fatigue, the breast tenderness, all of these things. Estrogen dominance is not necessarily about, this is an important point. Estrogen dominance, I'm going to go back up here, is not about necessarily our estrogen being out of a normal range. It's really about the ratio of estrogen to progesterone. That ratio is a delicate balance. That's a yin yang. And your estrogen could be in completely normal levels, but for various factors, like I'm going to get into, your progesterone could be really low. So what does that mean? Estrogen dominance. Right? In a few cases, yes, estrogen could be too high, and I'll talk about that too. But for most women, it is low progesterone. Why do we have low progesterone? Anybody know? Low progesterone is most commonly caused by stress. Who was on my masterclass last month? Anyone here? Karen, I think maybe you made it. Kathleen, you were definitely there. Girl, I appreciate it. So what happens? Quick answer. Pregnenolone is the mother of all hormones. I'm going to go big here again. I hope this back and forth doesn't bother you. I'm getting used to this design, so thank you. Hormone imbalance. Yes, but what hormones? So we have pregnenolone is the mother of all hormones right at the top, right? And then that next layer down, when we go, there's a stress hormone pathway and a sex hormone pathway. And in that stress hormone pathway, we actually have progesterone. So we have this base material, pregnenolone, that's used to create all our other sex hormones like cortisol, progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, right? Well, when the body is under stress, it calls for cortisol. So when cortisol is needed, when we're on fight or flight, it is going to pull more pregnenolone for cortisol production. What does that mean? It means progesterone is getting less. Stress is one of the biggest issues when we're talking about estrogen dominance. It's simply that, which is a very, very simple statement, but it causes so many reactions. Like one of the things I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to rehash certain parts of my masterclass in this live series. But I mean, look, we're talking about disrupted thyroid function, right? We're talking about increased glucose levels. We're talking about less progesterone. So stress is causing an issue with our menstrual cycles. This is causing one of the things I said as I was advertising this class is that this is really for women 16 to 60, right? Any age. Infertility is a big issue, right? A lot of women are facing infertility. Why? We're more highly stressed than ever. You know, as doctor says, you got to relax if you want to get pregnant. I'm stressed because I can't get pregnant, right? But it's true. We have to prioritize managing our stress. We have to prioritize it. And this is because this is one of the reasons we have estrogen dominance, we have PCOS, okay? So let's talk about how we can do that very simply. Okay, seeds as medicine. Love food as medicine approach, right? So there are 4 different types of seeds that we can use in a process called seed cycling. And this can really help impact getting our hormones back into balance. And the main reason, the main function is that it helps control excess estrogen levels. It helps bind it up a little bit so there's not too much. And then it also helps boost up our progesterone a bit too. So it really helps get that ratio back into sync. So simple when we talk about seed cycling. You take 2 seeds in your first part of your cycle, the first 14 days, which is what? The follicular cycle. And then you take 2 different seeds in the second part of your cycle, the luteal phase, the luteal part of your cycle. Okay. So simple. These seeds are why would they work, right? So first of all, we're going to talk about the 2 types of seeds in the first part that you take during your follicular phase. Now, these are flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. And the first thing I'm going to say is that these seeds are incredibly powerful, especially pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are great. And this is where I'm going to talk about men's hormones a little bit here, okay? Pumpkin seeds and zinc and flax seeds have a lot of zinc in them. Zinc is incredibly powerful. Zinc is anti-inflammatory. It helps bind up heavy metals. It helps normalize testosterone production. It's basically an anabolic mineral. Okay. So when you think about pumpkin seeds and flax seeds, think about zinc, right? Zinc really doing its job. Now, it's helping bind up excess estrogen. Okay. If we're binding up excess estrogen, sorry about that, it is not converting to a more toxic form of estrogen. That can happen and if you have too much. And what that can do is it can trigger more inflammatory reactions in the body. When I say inflammatory, one symptom might be breast tenderness, right? Not a comfortable feeling. What is the basis for all cancers? An inflammatory condition. So we're talking about breast cancer. We're talking also men. I'm talking about prostate cancer. So guys here, if you want to have like a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds ground up every day, that's a great thing. You're getting more zinc. You're helping manage that testosterone, and that's very, very good for your prostate. Okay. So what is the rest of this cycle? So how do we do this? So take a tablespoon of flax seeds, a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, grind them up. I bought a $14 coffee grinder for it. Grind them up fresh. And Put them in your morning smoothie, sprinkle them on top of your oatmeal, put it on a salad. I don't care what you put it in, just eat them fresh. And you want to do it at least the same time every single day. So you get the benefit of a consistent input and it creates a habit for you. Okay. Men can get breast cancer as well. Absolutely. True statement. True statement. So that's the first part of the phase. You're really binding up that excess estrogen. The second set of seeds, when you're taking them during the luteal phase, we're talking about sesame seeds and sunflower seeds. Again, it's about binding up estrogen, but it's also about boosting up progesterone levels. Okay. And then, of course, all this can be helped if you're focusing on managing your stress. But that's it. That's seed cycling. It seems too simple. It really seems too simple, but Mother Nature knows what she's doing, right? So if you are having just kind of irregular menstrual cycles and not a lot of symptoms, you can expect your cycles to even out so your periods can be more predictable in about 8 weeks. And if you're not tracking your period already, you really should be, because your menstrual cycle is really an incredibly important biomarker measurement for your health and can tell a lot of things. So there's plenty of apps that you can use to do it. I think you can only do it on your Apple phone now and the health app if you want to. But ladies, if you're not, track your cycle. Now, if you're not having your cycle anymore, like me, I'm in full menopause, but I'm still managing my estrogen. My estrogen is lower, but again, what do we know? It's estrogen and progesterone together as a ratio. So you still got to manage it. So what do? I follow the moon phases. So I've made this handy little graphic here. So days 1 through 14, new moon to full moon. That's when I'm taking my flax seeds and my pumpkin seeds. Then when we go full moon to new moon, that's when I'm taking my sesame seeds and my sunflower seeds. Right? So simple. A couple things to think about. Number one, always purchase your seeds whole and organic. Don't purchase pre-ground seeds. They start to oxidize after a few days. You know, oil can sit out and oxidize. Ooh, gross. Grind them up fresh. You can grind up enough for like a couple days, but I have my coffee grinder right there. I'm making my smoothie, put out my tablespoons, grind up my seeds, pop them into my liquid for my smoothie base. Simple. But again, if you're not having a smoothie for breakfast, put them on your oatmeal. Just make sure that you're getting them in every day about the same time. Okay. Super, super simple. And a new coffee grinder, I don't know, $12-15 off Amazon, right? It's worth it. That's all I use it for. And again, I talked about if you're having just slight irregular cycle, about 2 months. If you're having heavy symptoms of estrogen dominance, then about 3 to 4 months. When I first started taking them, I have to tell you, within 2 weeks, I started noticing a difference with my hot flashes, and you just have to keep going. I did make a mistake at one point, and I thought, oh, I'm good now. Everything's all balanced. I don't need to do this anymore. So I stopped doing it for like 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, big mistake. So my symptoms just started flaring back up again. So again, using that food as medicine approach, making it really consistent. It is super simple. I remember I was really kind of worried when I went to Israel last time, because I was like, man, I'm not going to have my seeds. What am I going to do? And I'm like, I'll have to buy some when I get there. It's so great though, because in Israel, when you go there, everything is so fresh. There's salad bars everywhere, and they're very, very much into eating seeds. So every salad bar had all the seeds that I needed. So I couldn't grind them up beforehand, but I just made sure to chew them really well. Why do you want to grind them? You want to grind them because you want to make sure that you can absorb all the great nutrients in them. If you don't grind them up, then they might pass through your system and you're not getting the benefit. Okay. Trying to think if I forgot anything else here. Let me look at this slide, kind of big. Yeah, again, this is all about balancing estrogen so you can have a balanced cycle. That's why it's good for young girls. It's good for women trying to get pregnant. It's good for women in their 40s and beyond. It's good for people in menopause. We're just trying to balance out those estrogen levels. And again, it doesn't matter how much estrogen you have. It does to some extent, but it's really more important about the ratio. Okay. That's really what I wanted to talk about today, because most women who come to me, they might come to me either because it's a hormone issue and they're experiencing all these symptoms, and or they're coming to me primarily for weight loss, but it's because a lot of these things, right? So I always talk to my clients about seed cycling, making sure that they're doing it, incorporating it into their routine. And then, of course, the other parts of my program we focus on as well. Now, if you want to get a copy of this presentation, just go ahead to this tinyurl.com/seeds as medicine. You can download this whole thing. And you'll then be on my email list and you'll get updates from me. I'm not as consistent as I should be with my email rules. I try and do once a week. You'll get a few in the beginning just to learn a little bit more about me and my programs, just keeping it real. And then after that, it's about once a week. You'll see a note from me, maybe a little bit more if I'm having events. But again, you can grab this freebie if you don't have it already and let me know what you think. So ladies who've been watching, I'm interested in the comment from the ladies. Is this something that you think you would try? I think the comments are a little bit delayed too, but drop that in there. And guys, would you be willing to add some pumpkin seeds or flax seeds to your everyday diet to help with your prostate health? It's really great. Now, another supplement that I can recommend that's not a food as medicine approach, but I want to just talk about it because hot flashes just impact everybody. It's called, there's a supplement, you can get it from Metagetics. This is not something that I don't sell it. I don't get commission or anything. I just think it's amazing. It's called Estrovera. Kathleen, you're going to try it. Beverly, you're going to try it. Great. Estrovera is a rhubarb-based supplement, which studies show that about 70% of the women who take this, they say once a day. Mine were so bad. I started, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. It really helps alleviate hot flashes. This really nice rhubarb-based supplement. So something to think about as well, along with the seeds, if you are having severe issues, is that, and again, that's called Estrovera. And I will go ahead and pop the name of that in the link of the show notes here, the broadcast notes. So that's really all I have for today. Any questions? Let's see, Melissa, I love flax seeds. Yes, I will try pumpkin seeds. Perfect. Well, ladies, I want you to try this and I want you to tell everybody. This is something that I really had no idea about. And then once I started researching it, it's everywhere. Karen, do your seed cycling and then try your Estrovera too. Don't just do the Estrovera because again, we're talking about the compound in the seeds actually fixing the imbalance. That's what you want to do. You want to fix it. The Estrovera, that's kind of like a short-term thing as the rest of this comes into play. So that's the great thing. Some supplements that you need to supplement daily, that's a lifetime thing. Other supplements you just need to use occasionally to get you over that hump. That's what Estrovera is. So yeah, Karen, I'll put that in the links for you. But yeah, once I started researching it, almost every functional practitioner I know talks about seed cycling. There's a ton of podcasts on it. This was something that I was taught by my mentor and teacher as part of my certification program. And it really works fantastic for me. So, we got just about 30 seconds left of the broadcast. Any questions? Okay, terrific. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. I'm going to sign off this and figure out the topic for tomorrow. As always, if you have any topics that you would love for me to discuss, dissect, ask questions, please go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'm going to be checking those comments religiously as we do this every day going forward for the next month or so. All right, take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.